right. Well, I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for joining me in this discussion. And now moving on, viewers, to some news from America's U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has confirmed that the United States has intercepted an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela in international waters. This comes after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. It's the second time in recent weeks that the United States has gone after a tanker near Venezuela amid a large U.S. military buildup in the region. Meanwhile, Noem has said that the United States will continue to pressure the illicit movement of sanctioned oil that is used to fund narco terrorism in the region. Noem added that the United States will find them and stop them. However, the White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly has said that the tanker contained the sanctioned oil. Joining me in this discussion is Collins Chong-Yu-Keat, who is a foreign affairs, security and strategy analyst, and he joins us from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Thank you very much, Mr. Keat, for joining me in this discussion at NewsX World. When do you think this is going to stop? Will Venezuela be able to prevent itself from these U.S. strikes, and how equipped is it to counter the challenge that's coming from Trump to overthrow the Maduro regime?
I would argue that it is quite, difficult. We have seen how the naval might of the U.S. geographically closer, and we have also seen how Maduro has not been able to get the needed support from regional neighbors and partners. So this interception marks a qualitative shift where the U.S. is no longer relying on reputational financial deterrence loans. So after months of this momentum, so it's on re-establishing credible cause for defiance by physically interrupting these illicit trades by the Maduro regime. And of course, we've seen how what we are seeing now is a fusion of both economic cohesion with maritime power, with hard power capacity. And of course, also we have seen how the tanker itself is less important, but the network behind it, in terms of shell companies, buyers willing to ignore compliance risks, and of course also operating deliberately legal gray zone. And of course, this will be, having this huge implication, both politically and in terms of economic terms. Of course, this is also strategic signaling beyond Latin America. And of course, we've seen how this action is being closely watched by others, including Iran-linked shipping networks. Of course, also buyers in Asia who have been relying on sanctioned oil. So this is also a deterrent message being sent by Washington. Through this action alone, you have repercussions or ripple effects in other areas also.
All right. And how do you see the divide between the Latin American countries towards the aggression of the United States in Caribbean? Because while Brazil has warned Trump over its increased role in Caribbean and over the seizure of oil tankers off Venezuelan coast, we have Argentina who's saying that Trump is taking the right approach.
Yes, it's not surprising. We have seen how also it's a fragmented region, and also some countries have been wary of the implications of the Maduro regime, and that the actions have been supported, and that once it has been stabilized, then the region will feel also the positive ripple effects. But the U.S. message is systemic and structural. So if you touch sanctioned oil, then you risk or you inherit the risks of U.S. enforcement, with the hard power capacity and with the readiness to act. And this is now being shown by the Trump administration. We have not seen this before under the Biden administration or before that. And this is a strong message being sent by Trump that he would take all it takes, he would do all it takes to protect the interests of the country and to protect the American lives, to stop this illicit trade of drugs, and of course also on the illegal activities being done by the Maduro regime, not only to protect the interests of the American people, but to ensure the stability of Latin America as well. And of course, it will have ripple effects also on the safety and security of the US, and also being meant as a deterrent message to Iran, to Russia, and of course, particularly to China, with the increased activities and support by Beijing in this part of the world.
Do you see Venezuela inching closer towards China, and how can China exploit the situation between the Americas?
Yeah, yeah, he has already done so for the past couple of years now, and this action is also part of the larger equation to halt the momentum of China in this part of the world. And Beijing has increased its footprint and presence in Latin America, and this is also being used as being observed closely by Beijing as to how the U.S. and the Trump will respond to that as part of the larger equation of the stopping this illicit trade. Of course, also the impact of fentanyl, and we will see also how the responses by strategic partners, including Brazil and Argentina, with regards to the responses by Maduro. But we will see how this is being taken, with great importance by Beijing, and we will see the continuation of this momentum by Trump. Of course, both in a two-pronged measure. First, to stop Maduro regime, but secondly, also to send a very strong signal to Beijing that the days of your support and presence are now over, with this increased focus on this geographical importance to the U.S. in terms of Latin America. And now we have seen how the new strategic security review by the U.S. now has been placing greater importance on this part of the world.
All right. Well, thank you for your perspective there, but I request you to stay on as we move ahead.